Here's a quick screencast to give you some guidance on setting up your Canvas assignments for your end-of-year asynchronous final exam. For this semester, any revised final exams will be take-home exams for which students will have a 24-hour period to access and submit their work. In many instances, this will work better in Canvas using the assignment tool rather than the quiz tool. So these instructions reflect using the settings that we think will apply for most people, but perhaps not for every course. So if your course is slightly different, that's probably okay. You should have already been notified about the assigned date for your exam. All exams are to begin at 1 p.m. on the date for exam start and close 24 hours later. So before I actually go into the Canvas setup, what you should also consider doing is writing out your instructions for students in a Word file, and then you can just cut and paste those into the relevant parts of the Canvas assignment. Similarly, if you want students to use a Word template to complete their exam, you should create that separate file as well, so you can just upload that when you're ready. So let's get started. So I've already logged into Canvas, and I'm going to click into the course that I want to create my exam. I'm just going to use my testing shell here. Here in the course menu is assignments, and like everything else in Canvas, I'm going to hit the plus to create something new. Give your assignment a name that's meaningful, so I'll just call this the final take-home examination. My instructions that I would have created elsewhere, I will cut and paste into this window. In terms of the value, the points is generally the percentage of the overall course grade. So if it's a 40% final exam, it would be 40. For assignment group, the default is assignments. For most people, that's fine. But if you're using assignment groups in your course, you should make sure you put it in the right group. Display mark as, for most people, this would either be points or percentage. I'm going to leave it at points. And then what's going to happen is if the student's score is calculated out of 40 points, then they will just add that to their end of course grade. Submission type should be online, and it should be a file upload. And when I click file upload, I'm also going to suggest that you put restrict file types to doc, docx, text, and RTF files. Don't allow students to submit PDFs because PDFs sometimes aren't scanned as accurately by Turnitin for academic integrity. For plagiarism review, I'm going to enable Turnitin, and I'm going to make sure that it remembered my last settings, which is we definitely want the students' assignments to go into the standard paper repository, otherwise no one will know if it's been used previously. And I'm going to compare against the student repository, against website content, and against periodicals, journals, and publications. In terms of the similarity report itself, I would tick exclude bibliographic and quoted materials because things like that, they tend to pump up a score unrealistically. If the student has quoted the material, it's okay in terms of academic integrity. And then whether or not you tick these last two, small sources or grammar checking, is up to you. In terms of showing the report to students for an exam, generally it's never. Not usually a group assignment, no peer review, assigned to everybody. For due, put the date that your exam is scheduled for, or the day after your exam is scheduled. So if your exam is on the 18th, I'll put it on the 19th, and it will be due at 13 hours 30, which is 1:30 p.m. It's available from the date the exam starts, so that would be the 18th of June in my case at 1 p.m. And available on 2, you can put what you want here, but generally what I do is if there's some scope for students to submit a bit late, Canvas will tell you if the assignment's been submitted, this has been submitted late, so it's not like the student can fudge the date. But I often will put just a few days after the assessment for final exam just to allow for that. So let's just say I'll do the 19th and I'll put it at, say, 4 p.m. But do whatever you're doing within your course and program so it fits that. And as anything else in Canvas, don't publish it initially, just save it initially. And that'll give you a chance to go back and review it when you want. And so there's my settings in there.